So this here is a dryer. The coffee comes up on the top and goes through a hole and comes in here. And then it gets spread out inside. Oh, baby. So the coffee gets spread out in the dryer for even cooking. So one of the cool things that we do here to dry the coffee is we reuse last year's pahilla, and pahilla is the parchment, the dry parchment on the coffee, and it's shredded and kept in bags. The pahilla in bags gets thrown down a tube from up there, and then just by gravity comes down through the white tube into here. And then we get a fire going inside here. So basically we just start a fire using this pahilla, this light airy material that burns well, and this is what we use to dry the coffee. That's all we use, just the pahilla. So that's pretty cool and eco-friendly. So we get it to about 120 degrees, and we dry it in here for about 16 hours. Now it's really important to dry the coffee to a particular moisture level. That level that we're looking for is 12%. It's really important not to over dry the coffee, because then it becomes kind of dry and brittle and can break easily. However, if you don't dry it enough, then it becomes susceptible to bacteria and fungus, and we don't want that either. So there are a couple other methods that I want to talk about. Another way of drying the coffee is just to put it out in the sun, which is what we did in Hawaii, just laying it out on a dry deck. That way it gets to dry in the sun naturally. Another method, which I've never actually experienced firsthand, but I'm dying to, is they put the coffee still in the cherry out to dry. So they don't take off the pulp, they just put it out to dry in the sun. That's called dry processing, also called unwashed or natural, if you've ever heard any of those expressions. That way, perhaps the mucilage, by having more contact with the coffee, develops a better flavor. I'm not really sure. After the coffee is dried, it is in parchment form. And now it can be stored. It's very important that it be stored in a place that's cool and clean and definitely dry. If stored properly, it can hold for up to about a year. Even after all that work, we're still not quite down to the bean. We're still going to have to remove that parchment skin before we can roast the coffee. So obviously, you're going to have to stay tuned. See you next time.